I'm going to share with you guys about a particular story that happened this year. Around April, my family and I we went to Europe to travel. It was for the most part fun. We went to the UK, um we went to Geneva in Switzerland, we went to Italy, and we went to France. It was a total of 18 days from April 7 to April 25. And for the most part, the trip was very fun. We saw a lot of great things, we met a lot of good people, 95%. But there's this particular 5% thing, something that happened that was very bad that I thought I would share with you guys because this is kind of like a life lesson, if you will. So on April 19th, while we were in Venice, Italy, sorry, in Rome, Italy. We were just about to head to Venice. Like we were gonna take the train. It was 11 a.m. and our train was scheduled at 1:30 p.m. My parents and I, we decided, okay, we're gonna just spend a little time touring, but first we're gonna go store our luggage. So we found this luggage place. This company that it just you pay to have your luggage stored for a certain amount. It's like $6 a bag, right? So we went there, and and the first thing we did, there were three people in that place, in that company, who were in charge of the luggage. The first person, it was very casually and talks to us like, "Hey guys, how are you doing? Where are you from?" And then we very politely answered, "Oh yeah, we're from Canada, but we originated from China, basically." And he was like, in a very light mood, making conversation with us. Um, and then while we were talking to him, my dad casually hands this other person in charge of the bags a $100, just to store our luggage. 3 minutes later, my dad's like, "Okay, so yeah, can you give us the change for our money?" And then the guy's like, "What money?" Like he acts so innocent. And then it's like, "Yeah, I gave you $100." And then he's like, "No, you didn't." And this guy was like very friendly and all that. And what happens is it was like, "Well, I just gave you $100." Like, "Oh no, impossible. Where is it?" And then it slowly starts turning very awkward and embarrassing. It starts becoming an argument. It's like, "I gave you $100 just there you go." And he's like, and then this guy suddenly is like, "Are you accusing me of being a robber?" And he was like very offended. And he's like, "Okay, you know what? Here, what? I'll show you, buddy." And then he empties out his pockets like this, and he's like, "No, nothing here, nothing here." And then we argue on for 2 more minutes, and eventually this guy slams his fist at the table like this, very angry. He's like, "I'm not a fucking robber," in a very Italian accent. "I'm not a fucking robber." And eventually he's like, "Okay, you know what, here's your luggage." And then he and then the third guy, they bring all our luggage back and give it to us, like, "You know what, give me your ticket right now." He's like, "Get out of here." And then my dad and my mom and myself were explaining to a few people what happened. It's like we gave the $100 bill, and then the third guy's like, "Get out of here right now." And then we did, we did not want to escalate the situation any further. um so then around 11:15, we went to the police station, to report this incident. um we uh we reported the incident, and then it's to the police, of course. And like originally really wanted to win the case, but closer to 12:45, we were like, "You know what, we should just end it," because for a few reasons. One, because our train is at 1:30. So you know our train is at 1:30, so it's like we cannot afford to miss this train, or else we will not be able to go to Rome, or no, or Venice. I can't remember right now. Or we would not be able to go to Venice. Yeah, Venice, Italy. But also too, because like the thing is, there's some things that are just not worth pursuing. Yes, $100 is a lot of money, but if you're comparing that to like legal fees and like the overall wait time, it's really not worth chasing after. This did, however, teach us quite a valuable lesson. One, we should not be paying someone like $100 just so casually without knowing what we're going for. And this actually kind of like, shows, how some bad guys operate. Like how the guy, the first guy who was like just very casually talking to us is like, oh, where are you guys from? He's like, oh, I've been to Canada before. He was acting as someone who to distract us while the robbery was being set place. Like I feel like these three got men were working together to like, sort of steal. And I'm almost willing to bet that this was not the first time they've done this. There's a saying I learned. I don't exactly know how it goes. Maybe it doesn't even exist. Maybe I'm the one who invented this quote, but here's my quote. If you see a mouse in your house, it is very likely that that is not the only mouse in your house. The meaning here is when you see something bad happen with your own eyes, it's likely that it's happened before and will happen in the future. These guys probably robbed a bunch of people. They're working together. One guy to distract us while the robbery's taking place, so we're not so focused on while we're giving the $100 bill. This reminds me of the movie Focus too. If you guys don't know, it's like it's portrayed by Will Smith, and it's like, sort of him and another girl. I forget what her name is right now. They act in conjunction, in unison, like to rob a bunch of people. Very, very good movie, Focus. If you want to watch it after watching my video, or pause this, go to that, and then come back, or don't, whatever. But yeah, that's the thing. It's like, these three guys. Remember the guy Kennedy I told you about who was living in my house like 6 years ago? I talked about him like being the one who didn't pay rent and wanted the keys to our house earlier. Yeah, similar situation here. He built up a light environment, a good atmosphere, and then proceeds to sneak in like a snake. I hate those types of people. One other thing I will say about bad guys, really, is like is like if you notice, when the guy got angrier and says, "Are you accusing me of being the robber?" and then 3 minutes later proceeding to pound his fist on the table, this is a very common form of gaslighting, where the perpetrator makes it seem like the victim is the bad guy and dismisses the victim's actions and feelings as incorrect. It's like saying you're wrong for having these feelings. Very typical thing of idea of gaslighting, and a lot of bad guys do it. I'm actually glad, one final thing I'll say, I'm actually really glad we did not pursue it any further, because like, and I'm actually glad we like got our luggage out right away, because like, let's say that we fell victim and it's like, oh yeah, okay, we'll just give you another $50, and like then, and if we left our storage there, who knows what they would do? Maybe they would have poisoned our luggages, or, something far worse. I don't really want to think about that. I remember watching a story one time. This was in the news in China about a boy who lost his tablet. Okay. Some people stole it from him and such. He lost his tablet. He thought he was very smart by installing a GPS tracker on his tablet. He locates it to an abandoned like warehouse somewhere, and the three people who were thieves shoot him dead. The point here is being that while your valuables or like certain amount of money is important, there are certain times, not always, but there are certain times where it's better to just accept the loss rather than trying to like recuperate it back. We because it could turn out to be far worse. Anyways, we did eventually, file a report, and but we weren't willing to wait that long. Yeah. So yeah, this is just a story I thought I'd share with you guys. Just be careful with your money and be careful. Some people are wolf in sheep's clothing. Yeah. Anyways, that's all I had today for this video. I love to stay, but for now, I gotta jump. I'll see you guys on the other side of the bridge. Catch you next time.